Let's get into a section a little bit. We'll do a couple of these and we'll get into some myths versus facts. We're going to have this great discussion. But I want to do a couple, is it true? All right, so here we go. I'm going to pick on Lisa first. Is it true that we should fill at least half our plates with vegetables and fruits in a rainbow of colors at every meal and even at snacks?
Yes, true.
Excellent. Please explain.
I mean, the value to that is the fact that you're going to stabilize your hormones very well. And we know that the bodies thrive on non-starchy veggies, the fruits, all, like you mentioned, the colors. A big part of that is that it's basically helping the gut bacteria eat well too. So we are comprised of billions of bacteria, mouth to anus. And if we're feeding our bacteria well with these kinds of foods, prebiotic, food types like the ones you mentioned, then we will be able to be healthy, lose weight, and kick out the bad guys.
Oh, wonderful. Let me ask this question to Christy. Christy, is it true that diets go off the rails when people eat out?
Sometimes.
I'd almost argue most of the time.
See, sometimes I think that when the floodgates open, it's a bad thing. But if you go out with a plan, it doesn't have to go off the rails. Right? A lot of times because I do have some food sensitivities personally, I will call ahead. I'll call restaurants to find out, are you able to handle these restrictions that I require? So it doesn't have to be. And it's also the restaurant selection, right? It doesn't mean that just because it doesn't have to go off the rails that you can eat anywhere. Some places may not be suitable. So it's about planning ahead.
And restaurants are changing. I mean, we're seeing more and more. I've got celiac, so I'm gluten-free. And I'll ask for a gluten-free menu, and they're very good about it. And but always be careful. But they're restaurants, and even when you eat at a friend's house, I don't feel badly anymore going over to somebody's house and asking them ahead of time. He said, "Well, I'm sensitive to these and these foods. Just so you know ahead of time. Don't feel shy. I mean, really."
Excellent. It's interesting. The American Heart Association came out with a study in 2017 that looked at the amount of calories that people consume at a restaurant for dinner, and something I'm trying not to. I'm not trying to misquote the number, but I believe it was something about 92% of the restaurants, the large chain national restaurants, offer on their dinner. At your dinner, you've exceeded your calories for the day in one meal. It was something ridiculous like that. Let's do one more of these. Is it true? I'm going to ask this one, Dr. Saran. Is it true to rely on supplements as a substitute for real food? What's your take on that?
Well, what we said about the rainbow of colors, people have to realize that those natural colors, not talking about artificial, those natural colors have a great antioxidant. So they neutralize some of the dangerous things that we come across all the time. And they are way more powerful than vitamins. I think if you talk to people, they kind of know about vitamin C and E and things like this. But they have to realize these colors are just so much better at neutralizing toxins and keeping us healthy. And so people know, well, they say, D-Jock, I know I don't eat well, but I take all these vitamins. So they realize they maybe are missing something, so they reach for isolated, fragmented vitamins. And there is just no study. There have been meta-analysis after meta-analysis in our annals of journal.
Yeah, the medical journals, correct.
That eating isolated multivitamin or isolated vitamins just does not help those chronic diseases. So now there's a caveat. So work with your healthcare professional is key, because you might be iron deficient for some reason and may need a specific B12 deficiency or vitamin D. Okay, that's fine, but don't just go to the shelf and start reaching for vitamins. Instead, we want a whole food based supplement. I myself take a product called Juice Plus, which is whole food based. I do not take a multiple vitamin, for example.
Yes, I remember. You want that food base. Let's get this.